It's noon, and yes, it's Thursday. So the real question is, where did this week go? It's a bit insane. Seemed like it was Sunday yesterday, and we were watching the Lions not move forward. But hey, they did an awesome job this year, and we're all proud of them. So welcome to Coffee with Ralph. Today's February 1st. You know, coffeewithralph.com is a free 15-minute phone call with me. And yes, I'm Ralph Gale. I'm the host, and I've been doing financial services now for most of my life, I think. And I think I bring a pretty unique view to what others think is so bland and drab and standard. You know, I'm going to answer any question you're going to bring to that call with Ralph. Like I say, it's a free 15-minute phone call with me. But you never know, I might use your question on our next episode. You know, I've been at home now for several weeks with an old injury that flared itself up and has been very, very, very uncomfortable. So I appreciate you tolerating the lack of perfect video today and for the last few weeks. It's reared its ugly head, and when it does, all I can do is sit back and take enough painkillers sometimes to let it pass. But I couldn't just sit here for all that time. By the way, I couldn't sit or stand really for more than 15 minutes, and sleeping wasn't really an easy thing either. But what in the world does that have to do with today's episode? Well, it's pretty straightforward, but actually I'm going to take the roundabout way and tell you how I got here. During the last week, Tony Robbins had a free 3-day workshop, which if any of you know Tony Robbins, it ends up being 4 days. And his question has never changed. It's what is your compelling future? And if any of you have attended one of his workshops, you know he gets you up and moving so you stay engaged. Sitting, standing, in pain, getting up, moving to stay engaged. But that's where everything dawned on me for this week's episode. Something most of, not all, the financial plans I see have missed the mark. Probably mine too, to some degree. But what mark, you might ask? Well, there hasn't been a single client I've sat with that can tell me what their compelling future is or how their plan is designed to help them fulfill that. You know, we all have seen our parents and grandparents move into this retirement chapter of their life and just get through it, wander through it. No direction, just day after day. There's no obligation to go to work, but there's really no compelling future. If all the good times are behind you, why do I want to retire? I mean, how can you have a compelling future when all you know is that each day you wake up with another ache or pain and you have no idea why? That was me for the better part of 2 weeks. Well, almost 3 now, I guess. I almost got to the point of resignation. I'm just going to hurt like this for the rest of my life. Man, how fun is that? Let's look forward to the next 20 years of my life hurting like this. Oh boy, that sounds like fun, doesn't it? But I'm not alone. It seems like I've asked a number of people since that day that same question. Tell me what your compelling future looks like when it comes to retirement, the next chapter of your life. Not just retirement, guys, just the next chapter of your life. You know, it's like going to Florida without a roadmap. I guess maybe someday you'll get there, but where's there? You have to have a destination. You have to have a compelling future. You know, Tony's questions, as if any of you have been to one of his events, know or even read his books, they kind of slap you around a bit. But it did make me realize something. Most of us take things a day at a time. So to have a compelling future is to get through the day. That doesn't sound like a lot of fun, does it? It's time we look at retirement differently. You know, I've been doing that for a long time, but I look at the negative side, and that's not really the negative side. I look at it as reality. You know, someday we're going to need care. Rather than just hoping tomorrow is as good as today, let's begin to craft and design a compelling future for the next chapter of your life. You know, Tony likes to say anyone can get through a tough today if there's a compelling future. But what if you're tough today and there's no compelling future? It becomes work just to get up in the morning. So let's begin by planning with hope for tomorrow. Because we all know something. One day this life is going to be over. We know that, don't we? It's a proven fact. Actually, no one gets out of here alive. Our focus should not be on the infirmities of age, but rather the impact that we can have while we're here. Now I'm going to share with you my special sauce, if you will. I don't see needing care as negative. It can be, and it becomes rather negative, but it doesn't have to be. Hope and plan for the best life is going to hand us in retirement. But let's prepare for the rest. Notice I didn't say the worst, I said the rest. We're going to need help as we age. Heck, I already do. You know, 65 going on 66 in just a few days, by the way. I'm not 20. I can't do what I did at 20. Can't do what I did at 40. I have some limitations. But why not make it a positive experience as we age? I mean, we've only given so many years on this place that spins around and we call Earth before we meet our Maker. And I'm a Christian, so I call him God. And one day I will see him, and I hope he says, "Good job." You know, it's a fact that 85% of human knowledge is now available on the internet. But what's not there is our wisdom. Wisdom we've gained over the many years we've spent on this planet, collectively and individually. I want to help you hand down the wisdom you've gained when you no longer can. I'll bet you're like me. There are times when I encounter something and I think, man, I'd sure like to ask mom or dad how they got through this. Let us help you store the wisdom for future generations. After all, we're all here for that one thing that we don't want our family to forget. I'm sorry, let me say it again. I'm reading my notes because this was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I thought about this. After all, we all have one thing that we want to pass on to our kids that we don't want them to forget. So let's make it unforgettable. Coffeewithralph.com is a free call, and we can start that discussion. Crafting a compelling future for retirement that's hopeful for the future, that has a positive destination, that has positive impact. Sure, we're going to need some stuff. We're going to need some help. We're going to need people with bigger brains than ours. Hey, stronger limbs are good too. Trust me. But there's all that wisdom we want to hand down to our children. That's what we do here at Fireproof. We'll help you craft that so that wisdom is retained. Maybe not all of it, but the things that you think are most important to hand off. It's been a blast being here. It is such an interesting new world when we stop looking at retirement as something we have to do and make it something we get to do. And we start thinking about the impact, positive, lasting impact we can have on this world. Folks, this is Ralph Gale. This has been Coffee with Ralph. Remember, coffeewithralph.com is a free 15-minute call. And all my Coffee with Ralph videos, by the way, are stored on my YouTube channel, Coffee with Ralph. Look me up. Try this one again. I'll talk to you next week.